My name is Peter Bennett. I'm the art director for SpongeBob SquarePants. I've been working at Nickelodeon since 1999. I think SpongeBob is a great example because you've got SpongeBob, who's kind of happy and almost childlike, very optimistic. You've got Squidward, who's kind of the exact opposite of SpongeBob, crabby and always looking kind of at the dark side of things. Patrick, who's just completely clueless. Sandy, who's very smart, and then the kind of the ancillary characters. If you have just really one-dimensional characters, or maybe kind of a limited environment that they live in, I think it just kind of hampers the amount of creativity you can bring to life. Because in essence, that's kind of what you're doing, is sort of creating a world and creating all these different lives that you can kind of be sort of the puppet master.
My name is Ben Heist, and I work at Nickelodeon Animation Studios. I work on SpongeBob SquarePants, and I'm a production assistant. And I think SpongeBob is really, really successful since it's got really relatable and fun characters. SpongeBob, I tend to relate to SpongeBob in many ways, and I think that you can watch that show and you can find someone, whether it's SpongeBob or Patrick or Sandy, someone that you can relate to. I think that people, when they watch TV, they want to find something that they can relate to, and some sort of great story that they can either see their own experiences or they're being transported into a completely different world. So I think story is really, really important because it's the one thing that draws you in as an audience member. It's the thing that keeps you compelled throughout the whole thing. So you need to have a great beginning, middle, and end to every piece of TV or film that you make. In terms of characters, I think having really relatable characters is important. Not necessarily characters that are a direct replica of people that you know, but characters that have a lot of warmth and a lot of heart, and characters that work well with each other. I think that having great characters, not only is it a good financial move if you find the characters such as SpongeBob that turn out to be great toys and great consumer products, but also characters that your audience can see themselves in.
Hi, I'm Steven Herzig. I'm a storyboard artist on SpongeBob. What I do here is I do the acting for a lot of the characters in the show, and it's pretty important to be specific in a lot of your acting because a lot of shows nowadays have very generic acting, so it's very important to find unique acting, especially when everyone pretty much does the same thing over and over, so you have to find something unique to make sure everyone's still engaged and paying attention.
You have to be very detail-oriented working in animation. I think one of the most important things is making sure that you're keeping track of everything related to every episode that you're working on. Because if you miss certain things, if you miss one tiny little detail, there's going to be problems later on down the line. Just since animation, rather than working in live action where you write the script, then you shoot it, and then you edit it, you're basically creating a framework for an entire episode of animated TV.
Hi, my name is Isaac Marzioli, and I'm the prop designer on SpongeBob. Well, for a prop designer, what you want to do is take the storyboard, and it's all of the objects that are in a background or in the scene that move. That's what the prop designer has to design. And so when it's being detail oriented and figuring out all of the different pieces that are in the scene and all the ones that need to be created, and then at the same time figuring out where they are. Is it a small object? Is it a big object?
Except from these two observations, I believe that a great teamwork is crucial to the making of animation. SpongeBob, being specific, has a crew of 52. The hierarchy goes from the executive producer, which is the creator of the show, to the 2 supervising producers. And then it goes to the 4 subdivisions: the writer's room, the storyboard team, the animation team, and the production team where I work at. The production team keeps up with all 4 divisions and constantly checks in with the rest and see if they're keeping up with the schedule. For each episode, which take up to 8 months for the entire production period, the writer's room will have a due date to complete the script. Then the production team will break down the script and make a list of all the character design, props design, and effects design. The breakdown is then handed to the artists who design all the graphics and the animators who will make these graphics alive. As production intern, one of the skill sets that I have been polishing is being good at nudging. Think twice about being an PA in animation and just in television in general if you can't excel at nudging. You have to make sure all the departments are not behind schedule. You also want to manage the timeline for the entire show and assign jobs to artists according to their work style and specialty. Animation is a precise and detail-oriented creation. Unlike fine art or performance art, which emphasize on individuality and improvisation, animation requires the entire crew to be patient on every tiny stroke and every splash of color, and to be patient for 8 months before an 11-minute episode comes out.